Hello, everyone. Hope you're doing well. I don't know when you're going to be watching this video, but at the time that I'm making it, it's just past Christmas. It's cold, a bit of snow out there, cozy, and I thought it would perhaps be a good time for us to have one more video production to share some points of views with you before the new year, and hopefully afterwards we can have other ones. And what I want to talk to you about right now, it's what we often try to accomplish in the series of videos on this channel. We're helping you to understand why it is that you feel the way you do, and especially in matters having to do with thoughts, consciousness, fear, desire, and ego, which of course it spills over into whatever else it is that you're going through your life, such as your breakup pains and relationship problems. And we often discussed, why is it that you feel so devastated and you want your ex back? Why is it that you have that feeling of desire still so fresh, even though you know that the relationship wasn't working and you know that it wasn't a good, healthy situation for neither one of you? But you still, especially boys, especially guys, when you break up with your girlfriends, you are totally disillusioned, you're totally agitated and devastated, and you want her back and so on, and you wonder and you don't know why is it that I want her back so badly, even though I know that it wasn't working and things were not really good. But even though that is a fact, but I still feel so hungry for her, for that whole whatever it is that I was feeling. Why is it? And we discussed that in many videos, and I'm sure that you have had the chance to watch many of them, and many of you tell me that it's been helpful to you. But I think there's one more thing also that we can discuss as for the reasons why you feel the way you feel, on top of all these other reasons that we discussed in the previous videos. Perhaps together we can ponder on this one as well. So here we go. We need to look back in the way that each one of us, human beings in this world, has been conditioned since we are born. And if you look at the natural instinct of every human being, you come to conclusion that there is one word that explains what it is that we all hold so dear to our survival, to our well-being, to our balance, to what we desire in life, what we want most, beside the health and all these necessities for basic survival, things that we need, food, water, and shelter, and all that. But having gone beyond that, what is it that is most important to us, all human beings, no matter when and where in the history? And you come to the conclusion that the word freedom comes to mind. Freedom. And we all strive to create and get that piece of freedom somehow, somewhere in our life. It's engraved in our genes. It's engraved in the way we are put together, that we want that. We hold that dear. We know how important that is. That's why so many countries, so many people, they always try to come up with this excuse of freedom and they attack each other. But going beyond that, coming to what really is the truth, is that freedom for all of us is very important. So what does that have to do with breakup and how we feel devastated when our girlfriends leave us? Well, if you look at it, ever since we're born, we're constantly dominated and brainwashed and conditioned to follow certain agenda of certain authorities, be it the teachers in the classroom, be it in our jobs, be it in our homes, parents or siblings. Always we are being conditioned to follow a certain rhythm, certain thing. In your job situations, you're always worried if you get hired, or you're being, controlled throughout the things that you got to do, or you didn't do it, so you're worried about if you're going to be fired or not. So you're following certain procedure, you're following certain expectations, and you're conditioned to do certain things. And of course, as you know, the education that we've been receiving all has been education that was meant to turn every human being to good followers, to good for production, just to go to a factory and keep doing the same thing, follow orders, listen to what it is, and totally be in control of certain organization or entity in order for their agenda to be going forward, whether it's a production factory or whether it's a organization of some kind. So if you look at it, constantly you are striving for that piece of freedom, psychological security, and feeling of independence, that nobody is really can tell you anything and you are in control of your own life. And that is probably the most important thing beside the basics of life that we all need. And if we look further, we see that trying to bring about this feeling of freedom, we search everywhere. And the only place that we find it is a place that we're going to find out at the end of this video. So for this feeling, we've established that this is something of importance to remember, why freedom is engraved in every one of our minds as one of the most important things in life. Now, let's come back to what we were trying to achieve here, and that is the fact that ever since we were a child, we were being told what to do, we were being controlled in our thinking, and we were being corralled toward certain procedures of some kind, whether in the school or whether in this job or whatever it is that we were trying to do. We're always being told what to do. We're trained to be a good follower and to do certain tasks. So whatever the agenda that community or that nation or that organization has, we would be complying and contributing to their plans. For that, we had to be turned into something other than an independent human being. The only time that we feel there is no such pressure is usually when we have no knowledge of ourselves, meaning there is no me anymore. Because we resist all these feelings and we are uncomfortable with all these, that what I talked to you about just a second ago, because there is a me involved. Me, I am important, I. And because of that, what they're trying to, what they've been trying to turn us into as a good follower is totally different than what we like it to be, because of the fact that there is a me. And the me is the most important thing in this world. And the me, the existence of me, and what is being done to us out there is totally different and not compatible. And that's why we don't like it, because there is a me involved. Then there's another thing to consider, that if you really want to be free, that is when there is no me anymore. Like there is no concern or recognition of me. There's no existence of something as I. In many in many centuries ago, or whenever it was, it was it was said by scholars of the time that in order to be free, you should need to take the I and demolish it, meaning there would be no awareness of I, of the me. In fact, some says that before the religious significance of cross came to picture, it's not, the importance of the cross is not just because it represents a crucifixion of Christ. It's been discussed before that cross resembles getting rid of I, getting rid of it. That is why this whole picture of cross was very important even before Christ was crucified on it, and it became such a more visible importance of what it is, how we know it today. So the idea of cross before the religious notion of it was the fact that it was representing the I being gotten rid of, like the I, and then scratch it with that horizontal cut. So what I'm trying to get at is that where there is no I anymore, when there's no concern or recognition of I, of me, my existence, when I'm not concerned of that, that is actually where one thinks that attains freedom. Because when there is no I, there's no concern. When there's no concern, there's total freedom. Because the whole concern is when you are aware of your I, of your me, of your existence, of who it is, who you are, and your consciousness, and what you know, what you've experienced. All that what makes you, what you like, your religion, your customs, your education, your dogmas, all that is you. And when there's no you, when there's no me, when there's no I, that's when actually the freedom exists. And when is that freedom really attained is obviously not through our daily lives, because of what we just discussed, that we've been trained and conditioned to become a good follower and just a good factory worker, just a good assembly line person. And that's how we've been trained. Even the education in universities, in schools, have been in a way to follow certain rules. Do this, do that, and learn this, and do it this way. So, what are we getting at? We're getting back to your relationship. In a relationship, through intimacy and through sex, that is the moment that totally, in the moment of intimacy, there is no awareness of you. At that very moment of intimacy with your loved one, with your partner, with your girlfriend, however your relationship is, we're talking about one kind of relationship. So when you're with your girlfriend, at that moment of intimacy, eventually, at that very exciting moment, you have no awareness of yourself, like nothing else exists. You don't exist even. There's only a feeling. There's only an energy. You have no understanding of who you are or where you are. All you are is just pure energy and feeling of nothingness, where there is no I, there is no me, there is no falling of anything. There's pure energy, and that is where the essence of freedom and the way you feel you're not dominated, you're not controlled, you're not being told what to do, what not to do, and there is no limits, and there is no you to create any of these limits based on the fact that there is a me, there is you. And that is why that is the only moment that you recognize, and you, in your genes, you have been programmed to know that is the moment of total freedom. So when you lose your relationship with your girlfriend, one of the many reasons that we discussed, the other reasons that you really feel so devastated, is the fact that you know but you don't know, but you feel it inside, that you've lost through what you could get your freedom every once in a while. The freedom that will separate you from all these bondages in the world and the things that you have to carry and do and deal with throughout your daily life. And at that moment of intimacy with your girlfriend, everything is perfect. No need and no necessity is needed there. You need of nothing else, and you feel perfectly whole, and while you don't even exist. But the feeling of the freedom is with you then. So when you break up with your girlfriend, you are missing that feeling of freedom, that feeling that you would get in the intimacy, that feeling that you would feel nobody is actually controlling you in any way, shape, or form. No governments, no this, no that, no bills, payments, no nothing, no trouble, no nothing, because nothing exists in that moment of total freedom and in the intimacy that you have with your girlfriend. And for that, your system is aware that is the freedom that you're missing. Not the person, but the feeling, the things, the feeling, that the emotions that you would get from in that relationship, from that person in that relationship. And that most important one was that moment of total freedom, that you would feel you're whole and you're living and nobody is controlling you and there's nothing that matters, because even you don't matter at that moment. So knowing this, it could help you to know that what you're really missing is not the girl, is not the person, is not the relationship, is the freedom. And for that, the good news is that there's so many other women out there that you can just set out, get to know, and interact, and then bring about that what is most important and precious to you, the freedom through the intimacy that your genes are programmed to follow and enjoy and desire. Now that you know, there's one more reason for you not to be devastated, to know that there's hope out there, and to know why it is that you feel the way you do. It is not her, it is not missing her, it is missing your freedom. So go and get it. There's so much more out there for you to establish that relationship and that freedom again. Wish you have a wonderful day or evening, and hope that you will take good care of yourself and your loved ones, and talk to you soon. Bye for now.